The pose tool is a great tool to quickly change the rotation, scale, and translation of a selection, and you can determine by a number of ways the selection. You can use a line, a ring, a sphere. You can even paint on it with a pen or by object. I'm going to demonstrate just a couple of the things here very quickly. Now the first one I'm going to demonstrate, I'm going to use the line one. Let's call this some kind of character. I know it's not, but let's call it. And these are its arms. Now I want to change the position of these arms, so the rotation. Now this line here that you're seeing will determine the intensity of the tool that I'm using. Now the white dot is 0, the red dot is 100, and once I let go it's going to place a gradient, and as you can see there's the gradient. The red will be fully adjusted, the yellow, which you can barely see, is barely adjustable, and the normal color green is not adjustable at all. I'm going to change this to rotation here, and then I'm going to rotate to have these point downward. Now there's some pinching right there. I don't want that. Let's go back over to translate and move it downward, and that looks much better. Looks like some kind of rest position for an arm. Let's hit enter to submit the change. Yep, that looks good enough for me. Now I'm going to demonstrate with the pen, because I believe this one's very important here. The airbrush, it lets you just brush things on, you know, like you're airbrushing. As you can see here, it's not much different than having it turned off, but as you can see the difference there, using airbrush mode applies it much more smoothly. Not using it, it's laid on pretty thickly. Okay, so I've got my little area of effect here. Let's turn airbrush mode back on, maybe paint a little more. Right, let's call that good. Now I want this right here to just jut out. So let's translate it. First off though, I don't want it to come out this direction. So let's manipulate the end effector of the gradient, or the tool rather. And let's make it just kind of point downward and toward the center. Okay, now let's grab that, and that looks good. Let's hit enter. Now we have some kind of snout, quick snout. Alright, I think that's good enough for this little tool. Test it out, give it a look. There are lots of different little things in here. If you got a question, post it on the forums.